Hello, all. Good morning.
Good morning, Prashant. Let me share my screen and let's get started. Okay. Are you guys able to see my screen?
Yes, Akash.
Thank you. So, without much further ado, let's start. So, yeah, hi. So today's agenda will be on roughly around these four topics, and one of the most important thing, and like I okay. Before that, how many of you are beginner in Tableau? I just wanted to understand so that the pace and the class, the rhythm of the class will go in that way.
I am new to Tableau.
Yeah, Prashad, what are you saying?
I am new to the Tableau.
Okay, you're new. Okay, so why I'm saying this because basically, I mean, I'll go from scratch itself, but uh, there may be case that I may go a little bit fast, but so that if I know the audience properly, I can adjust to the pace, right? So no problem. I'll start from scratch itself, like going very slowly, very nicely, and dealing with all the intricacies that is involved in Tableau, and not only in Tableau, Tableau Server, Tableau Cloud, Tableau Public, and also a bit of SQL involved in it, right? So if you do not have any, if anybody do not have any idea on SQL, that is also fine because we just need, I'll provide that idea to you, but not wholly as a SQL, but it will be a blend of whatever is required for Tableau, right? I hope you get my point, what I'm trying to convey to you all, right? Because
Yes,
yeah, so in Tableau, right, or in anything or in any course of life, whatever you're doing, you should always, whenever you start something, right, you should always have 3 points before starting, right? The first thing is why you are starting, what you are going to start, and how you will start, right? So all of you, I mean, the people who have joined here right now, uh, they know, like they wanted to upskill in Tableau, right? So there is also this thing, right? Why you want to upskill in Tableau and how you will upskill in Tableau, right? And you might have a few pointers like what is Tableau, you might know about it, but now since you have enrolled or since you have shown interest, you will you would want to understand more about it, right? So anything that you start, it starts with these three things, right? So first of all, what is Tableau, right? So any idea about from you guys? I just want to hear from you all. Like, what is Tableau according to you? Your own curated definitions.
Tableau is a data visualization tool. That's what I. So we
Okay.
can. So which helps in enterprise level decision making. So they can view what is happening in the org level.
Okay. Okay. Fair point. Fair enough. Anybody else apart from Prasad? And then you should speak up because the thing is, if the more you speak up, y- the contents and more doubts will come, and when more doubts comes, you will feel or you will learn more, like I would go deeper because class, it's not a monologue, it's a dialogue, right? So go ahead and answer for this, like what according to you is Tableau?
It's a BI tool also, like a data visualization tool and BI tool.
Okay. Okay. Nice. Okay.
Mainly used for data analysis purpose and visualization purpose for decision making, to build, to see in a rich look of the charts, different
Hmm.
customized charts for business solutions for the decision making.
Fair enough. Right. 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 Okay. If anybody has any pointers, you can pitch in. If not, I'll just give you a glimpse of what Tableau is. Okay. So, sorry. So Tableau, I mean, everybody, I mean, Prashad and Giri, right? Yes, absolutely right, absolutely right. So Tableau, in a nutshell, is what it see how first of all, what was the need? We all know the Tableau is a BI and data visualization tool, but what was the need of it, right? So think of this way: you have data, you have numbers, 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 numbers everywhere, right? And let's think of this data set. One second. Let's get this. Let's think of this database. Okay, right? Now if I give this to, let's say, a CEO of a company, let's say XYZ, whatever company is, and tell them, this is what the sales report looks like. Okay, so do you think this is the correct way to do? I mean, in our in past decades, this was the method that people used to do, right? And also very well, like in Excel also we can visualize data, right? But that came later part, correct? So there was a need, because right now time is money. So in order to save the time, we want something which is very intuitive to our eyes. We don't we As a human being, as a decision maker, I do not want to invest my time into crunching numbers and transforming it and then visualizing it and then finding it out, and then understanding, okay, this is what I should do, right? So when you get a dashboard, or one second, when you get a dashboard like this one, let's say Tableau, like this one, right? Let's say you got a dashboard like this one. Let me just open it. Right? So if you get a dashboard like this, uh, let me see through Tableau history. Okay, let's say carbon emissions, right? If the decision maker or the CEO or the manager of the company gets uh, a view of the data like this, like carbon emissions per capita by country, then imagine you are the CEO of ESG or CEC. Then what you will do is, okay, you will understand, okay, these are the countries wherein uh, the emissions are more. So the processing time, his time is very less. He can make decisions quick. He you will also, in the dashboard, you will provide more options wherein he or she can dissect the data, meaning he can use as a filters, right? He can use as a filter and then uh, uh, come out with insights, right? So one second. So the reason for Tableau, why Tableau, is it clear? Is it clear as of now? Because that is very, very important. If that is not clear, I'll explain it again.
They got it.
Okay. Right. So now, what is Tableau and why? Also, I think I have given the answer in my statement itself. So prominently two things. We want to reduce the processing power of our stakeholders. Here, stakeholders can be anybody, right? And uh, right. And what is it's a BI intelligence or data relation tool where with a lot of amazing visualization, capabilities, and it is it differentiates itself from other BI tools, right? So now, how will we learn, right? What all we'll learn and how we will learn, right? So this is what we will go through entirely. I mean, it can go more beyond if we are more interactive, because the more the questions, the more deeper we would go, right? So we would start with in the session. We would start with understanding like the interface of the Tableau, uh, and going from right from interface to Tableau server, publishing it on Tableau server, uh, then sharing it with a group of people, RLS, which is row level security, and managing roles, changing roles, and then we'll have LODs, we'll have aggregations, right? We'll perform, I will uh, make or tailor, we make a tailor two dashboards, at the least two dashboards, which should be made during the whole duration of this class, right? uh, yeah, one second. Okay, so order of operations in Tableau, so let's say, so the way we have order of operation or execution in SQL, we have the same thing in as our order of operation in Tableau, right? So we'll understand the file types, and I mean, right from scratch to base, advanced charts, maps, these things. We will go and we will understand. Even we'll understand whatever people teach in a traditional way. In a traditional way, what they do is they normally use Excel. Okay. I hope you will agree with me that most of the tutorials are in available, or the people that they uh, teach, uh, hello, teach are mostly through Excel and these things. We will not take that route. I'll show you to connect through n number of connectors. Like let's say I'll show you to connect through Snowflake, through SQL Server, through Google Sheets, Google Drive. So because the data that comes in a company, it's not always in CSV or Excel. How many of you agree with this point?
I agree because they have different kind of formats.
Right? So mostly CSVs, if it comes, it's like it's very easy to manipulate, very easy to you don't need to do extra processing. And the feel of learning Tableau is not with CSVs. I mean, you may create or learn, but the back processing, like how you connect to a server, how you're fetching the data, the extract version, the live version, all these things, the feel of it, you will get it from any connections itself, right? So we'll take that too. And so I'll stop here. Any questions so far?
So Akash, I have two questions here.
Hmm.
So as we know, so comparing between Excel and Tableau, so the major difference is Excel cannot handle large amount of data, and also the compatibility with Tableau is more, and also the visualization part also. We have larger picture, like we can have multiple visualization aspects in Tableau. That is right. So is there any thing other than that? So do you have any other advantages of using Tableau?
Right. So, 1 second, let me see if the recording is on or not. Yeah, it's on. So, see, I was expecting a question between difference between Power BI and Tableau, but very well. I mean, this is also very rare ask. Like, what is the difference between Excel and Tableau, right? So, I mean, let's see, frame a bucket, and let's understand this. In Excel, you you can you can manually enter data. You can take a dump of SQL in Excel or CSV. You can connect through other data sources also, right? That is what I'll talk about in buckets. I'll talk about in, like, let's go through like this. 1 second. New spreadsheet. Okay. Excel, Tableau, data integration. Okay. Now
You can
in
include
data,
Power BI. You can include Power BI as well. So we don't have
okay,
another question on that.
okay, we'll do Power BI also. Okay. So data integration, that's the first thing. Right, data integration. Very limited options. Very limited option. I mean, what I mean to say is, if you go to Excel and you see get data and go to connect, uh, you will see only Microsoft related integration, APIs or integrations, like Azure. You will have you can link to SQL Server and this. But if you want to link it to AWS, Athena, uh, Teradata, MongoDB, these kind of things, right? Then you have very limited resources. I'm not sure how you can, you may be able to do through extensions, but there you need to download extensions. But also, Excel does not support all the, integrations, right? Tableau, in contrast, has more than 250 connectors. So just to give you a feel of it, let's go here. Uh, let's go here. Let me do this. Okay, new. So I'll show how many connectors are there. You will be amazed to see that Tableau has maintained consistency, and when you do connect data, you see all these three, almost around 73 as of now, but it supports more than that. This is to a server, SQL Server, SharePoint, Google Drive, Snowflake. We have, I mean, most of the names I haven't heard of it, right? So you have, then here you have to a file, Microsoft Excel text file, CSV, JSON file, Access, PDFs, spatial files, statistical file, etc. Then to a server, right? So you have n number of connectors that you can utilize and you can connect. If at all the connectors are not there, you can very well use JDBC and ODBC's connectors, right? ODBC is basically open source database connector. Now JDBC is Java development based connectors. Okay, so like JDK and SDK is there. So similarly, you have these many connectors, right? Which is very easy for a Tableau user, or as a user, or as a company, to connect to any type kind of data. They do not need to think of it, right? But since when I go to Power BI, right? Power BI, right? Here also slightly. So Power BI is again a Microsoft product, and it supports most of the Microsoft. I mean, all Microsoft, and other products are very limited. Like, so integration is a problem here also in Power BI too, right? Huge integration capability, right? Power BI more than Excel but less than Tableau. Okay, and this is not because I'm doing Tableau. That's what I'm saying. I know Power BI also and Tableau also. So, but this is what I have felt. Okay, this is based on the experience. Now, there are places where Power BI is doing far better, and we'll touch upon that as well. The first bucket, data integration, right? The second bucket is the visualization. Um, what you can appearance or appealing, uh, you know, visualization type. We can say very basic, very basic. You can't do much, and it could, in order to do that also, the basic visualization, you will need a lot of time. Just to edit the x-axis and y-axis, you have to click twice, then you have to adjust, then you have to rename, and there are things that it takes time in Excel. Okay, and the graph that you do in Excel, it does not look that appealing. Tableau, the visualization is very much appealing. That's the USP of Tableau. Let me open Power BI also, and I'll show you why what things are you know not good in Power BI. So let's go here. Okay, you see, let me just let me just open this. Right, see, you can see the visualization in Tableau here, right? And the say similarly, if I open anything in, let's say if I have anything that is that I made, yeah, right. This is the visualization in Power BI, right? You see, this is, it looks so, you can feel the difference itself here. You can feel the difference. How Tableau looks and how uh, Power BI looks. Okay, just by, you see how it this looks and how this one looks. Okay, if I just do this also, okay, right? So how this looks, right? Come on, it's Tableau is far better in curating the visualizations and making it more appealing than Power BI, right? Just to do this, I had to spend more than 3 hours, okay, just to do this. But this one, all this thing, it is super easy, super um, handy to make changes, make things appealing in Tableau. Okay, so visualization again here in Tableau, Power BI is a problem. Okay, not very appealing. Okay, now the thing is like the cost. Okay, uh, mostly it comes free. Mostly it's free, depending upon the windows that you are taking. So I'm not writing make be free for some users, right? Tableau is not free not free, it's costly. In fact, Power BI is free at some extent. Then they charge a very minimal. Okay. Okay. So these are the three parameters as of now, right? And then again, if we go into that debate of like uh, uh, which one is better, then again we'll decide on this also, right? So then data um, modeling or cleaning capabilities, right? With Power Automate and Power this you can do. I mean, mostly you can do data cleaning in here with help of extension. Tableau for data modeling and data cleaning, very limited capabilities in Tableau desktop. So there in Tableau you have, again, the Tableau has a lot of products, right? You have Tableau desktop, you have Tableau server, you have Tableau public, correct? You have Tableau prep. So Tableau, what Tableau is doing is Tableau is creating a universe of products, like the way company perform function. So, but it's a very individual product. Like for data cleaning or modeling, you'd use Tableau prep, right? For visualization and sharing, you would use Tableau desktop, right? Tableau public is basically wherein you want to share it with the audience, with the Tableau uh, you know uh, groups, right? And they would give votes on that. They would suggest you like these are things that you would have done. Looks very nice, and basically a community build up thing, right? So uh, that is Tableau public. Now in Power, very limited capability. In Power BI has a huge data modeling capability embedded in itself. So if I go into Power BI, you see this is model view. So you can build relationship here itself. You can import, you can change things like uh, entity relationship diagram basically. So you can link it to another. Uh, you can change the keys, the primary keys, and these stuff over here itself. But in Tableau, you cannot do all those. You cannot do, if I want to go to this data source, this extract. Let's say if I want to, there is no way that I can go and uh, change. I mean, there are say minimal cleaning involved that we can do, but for to model the data entirely, we have to use Tableau Prep, which is another tool altogether, which requires another skill set basically, right? So based on these parameters, mostly you'll decide which tool to go for. See, Excel is a universal product. It's one of the beautiful products ever created in human history, and you will see that based on Excel's product uh, UI, basically, right? It every almost everything is designed in that way itself. You will see on the left hand side you will have file, edit, and these stuff. The same way everywhere you will have. So Excel is the one of the most beautiful product ever created in human history, but has very limited capabilities. So comes Tableau and Power BI, and there are another other plethora of tools. Like you have ClickSense, you have Looker, you have uh, HubSpot, you have uh, this one Looker. I think Data Studio, Google Analytics. These there are a number of tools, and based on company specifications and their acceptance, their readiness, we decide which tool to go for. Even if you're a service company, you see that, okay, what the client is using, right? They may use Power BI, they may use Tableau, they may use Looker, right? Like uh, this virus company, I mean antivirus company, uh, they used to use initially they used to use Tableau. Now then they shifted to Looker. So it's purely on preferences and how and these things play a lot of role. So mostly cost, you will see, right? Yeah. Any questions so far? Any questions that you want to ask, and I can take that up.
So, Akash, which tool the most of the companies are using now, current trend? So, the market wise.
See, I can, based on my experience, and when I was interviewing, I mean I was going through interviews. I it was a mostly a 60-40 divide or 50-50 divide. People prefer Tableau and Power BI as well, but Power BI is most favored by those people whose differentiator or whose decision making point is revolving around price. Okay, so because Power BI is mostly free for few things, and it takes uh, some time. Sorry, um, for few things it takes it is chargeable, but most of the part it's free. And when the cost picture comes, people forget the computational efficiency. Yeah, that is also important. Computational efficiency. Okay. Again, Excel is, we cannot compare Tableau with Excel because Excel has very limited. Mostly you can process 1 lakh rows, and it will die. It will like, if you're feeding 10 lakh rows or 20 lakh rows to Excel, it's like, you're asking Excel to commit suicide. That's the point. Now in Tableau, it handles very exceptionally well, because of its more efficient computational hyper engine. So hyper engine is the memory that Tableau uses, okay, to function itself, right, at the back. So it's exceptionally well. Power BI, again, it has limitations like 1 GB, 2 GB, and like that. So it is also not very useful. But again, I said, if the company's differentiator or uh, itching point is cost, they will opt for Power BI. If the cost is not the itching point, then they will definitely go for Tableau and others, right? So there is no clear answer of this, like which one is more preferred. It depends upon the consequences and the economics and the way company takes decisions. I hope it answers your questions.
Yes, Akash. And I have last question.
Mhm.
So now we are hearing so much of information about artificial revolution. Like for
Mhm.
everywhere, it can have multiple options we have. So now what is the impact of AI for these kind of visualization tools? So I think I'm not sure. I'm not getting into the AI tools, any kind of tools, but I'm hearing that it has the capability of doing all the things like visualization, data preparation, cleaning, and everything. So how that impacts these tools?
Yeah, so see, with the involvement of AI, these tools will be super efficient. I'm not sure if you have heard about Fabric. That's a tool developed by Microsoft. So they have the universe. Let me draw and tell you this. Okay. So Microsoft Universe, right? I'm sorry if it's not visible. It will be after some time. Then you have Tableau Universe, right? Now it is acquired by Salesforce, so it has a lot more capabilities now. They have, right? So they have Tableau Desktop, Tableau Prep, Tableau Public, right? Then Tableau Server, which is also called as Cloud. Okay. Now Microsoft, right? Power BI. I mean, let's start with Excel itself. Excel, Power BI, right? Power. Then you have in Power BI itself, you have this. You have Fabric, right? Fabric is a AI in embedded things, right? So what it does, you feed the data and you just ask questions about around them. Okay. So it gives you a prompt like ChatGPT. It gives you a prompt in the base, and if you write what was the who made the highest sales, right? Which country has the highest GDP? And if you have the GDP data fed into Fabric, it will plot the graph also, and it will give you the visualization and the results too, right? With the advancement of AI in Tableau, let me show you this map, right? There is this one second. It's connected to server. The data is on server, so it takes some time, right? So if I just use this is the data guide, right? If I do this, see it will give me all the you know uh, what do you say insights. So for insights, you have the graph. You don't have to make you don't have to think much. So what in this graph, what it says is red is the highest, right? These two reds are the highest sales, right? You see here top three highest: California, New York, Texas. So whatever relevant things you have, right, it will show here in data guide, right? It will give you a proper data summary also. So with the advancement of AI, it's going to be very, very, very intuitive and very. The processing time is decreasing. By the way, the to process, let's say, to make a dashboard, it was taking 1 hour. Now it takes only 20 minutes, 25 minutes, because you can embed AI, you can use things. In future, it will be even more, but it does not mean that you don't need to upscale or you don't need to do anything. It simply means those who who have idea on Tableau or any visualization tool, then only they will be able to excel in those AI tools also. And above all, what is required is the thinking, right? Is the data science thinking, how you perceive the data, right? How you see it. So see, if let's say if California is highest, it doesn't mean that you don't need to do anything. The things might be wrong in California also, but AI is saying no, California is all good, right? Now if I go deeper, what about the different pin codes, zip codes in California? And there are a number of things. I'm just trying to say that above all, above AI and everything, you have your capabilities to use it the way you want to use it, right? I hope that gives you answer, because there is no straightforward answer for this. How AI is going to impact? It's not going to impact. It's going to impact us positively if you take it that way. So there was in one of my economics class, there was saying during COVID that what now COVID had come, a lot more job cuts will be there, and everything will be automated. People will lose job. So whenever this kind of pivot comes, right, in the world order changes, but there are a lot more jobs which are opened, right? That is floated around. So if you know the skill, then only you can advance it. You cannot directly go and use the AI. That's what my point is. I hope that answers.
Yes, Akash. Great. Thanks.
Okay. So yeah. So what Tableau and Power Microsoft is doing is, I mean, that in visualization space, they're at war, basically. They are continuously improving and continuously releasing products which are beneficial for the user and the consumer. So Fabric is one of those products. And since Power BI has data model embedded, then Tableau came up with their prep. So prep is basically, I just want to give you a glimpse of it. Let's say your shipping data or orders data is sitting somewhere in Teradata, right? It's a type of SQL database. And your orders data is somewhere else. Let's say MongoDB, right? And do not go into intricacies of you're using NoSQL databases, SQL databases altogether. Let's take it that way, okay? And then you have address or customers data on cloud. Let's say that, okay? Now you want to combine these three data types, I mean data tables, and then build a dashboard around it. So there was no capability from Tableau that to perform these tasks. Now, 3 years back, they released Tableau Prep. I'm not sure about the timeline, but I used it 3 years back, and I mean now also I use it. I mean the first time that I used it, the 3 years back. Now, so you can combine the databases, you can rename that, you can pivot around according to yourself, and then change the data, right? So what Tableau Prep does is you have this Teradata, then you have this, let's say MongoDB, you have this NoSQL, any SQL Server, right? Now you want to combine, then it will give you like this. You can combine the data, right, and make into one. You can change column names, rename it as per you can make calculations. Let's say you have sales and price and you don't have revenue in your column, you can calculate revenue, right? Then one single source which will be fed to Tableau, right? That way, like I showed you in Power BI, right? Like this, correct? You can model in that way in Tableau Prep, correct? So I see some question. Gaurav, to answer your question, Tableau Prep will need, like, it will be another course altogether, because it has a lot of, you cannot cover it in a week or two. It takes some time. So to understand, and will have to come up with another curated course itself down the line, right? So that can be taken up if the response is for Tableau Prep is that way. Yeah,
Hi,
hello.
Akash. Just a quick question. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So my question is like, is Tableau prep equivalent to the Power Query or the Power Pivot, or is it a totally different thing?
Yeah, I mean, the way you are, you are visualizing it, it's up to the mark. So in Power Automate and Power Query, what you do is Power Automate, you dissect the data, you change the shape of the data, right? It's the same
Mm-hmm.
way you can change the shape of the data in Tableau Prep. So folks like, I feel, those who are beginners, shape of the data means like, you have done it. You have done it in Excel, like, and any other tool that you know. In SQL also you have done it. Changing the columns to rows, rows to columns, then making a new column, adding new data types to the column. I mean, changing uh, the whole structure of the data. These things are called like, can be done in Tableau Prep also. Yes. Sorry, Kamla, what was your question again? I think I just digressed from the topic.
No, my like I have like a little bit of hands-on and like visualizing in Excel and a little bit in Power BI.
Mhm,
So I'm trying to
mhm.
understand if Tableau Prep is similar to
Correct, correct.
the query editor and the Power Pivot, or is it a totally different tool where you need a different skill set to work on it?
It's a I mean, the underlying thing is, an underlying concept is same, but you have a lot more power to it. So let me see if I have Tableau. No, I do not have, but I can show it to you online. Right? Let's see this example itself, right? See, uh, to do these kind of calculations. So there are, I hope this is visible to you all. I'm just zooming the site itself. So you have orders data which is coming from, for eastern region there is another database, for west it is another region, another database, in central and south, so and so forth, right? Then you add, you rename it, you pivot it, you split the columns. You so much of cleaning is going on. Then you union the data, right? Then you are joining orders and returns data here. Then you're splitting customer. Maybe customer has the data, the column is like, you have like this. I have the example for this. You see, United States, Florida, Jacksonville, and the zip code. All right. So this is all in one. Now I can split states, country from here. I can split state. I can split city, and I can split postal code. So in one column itself, I have four. I can derive four other columns. So that's what it is saying here. Split customer. Okay, and then you create all orders here, and then you then aggregate. There is another data that is coming, quota, right? And then that's the final trigger. Tableau Prep, what it does also, it automates the whole flow. You prepare a flow in the okay. If you might know, understand this about data pipelines in data engineering, what it says, it does, you create a pipeline, you attach all the moving pieces, and it automatically runs every day at that point of time, right? Through airflow or autosys or dbt tools at the same specified times, and then all your tables are created, right? And then you use the table. Did you get this? If you get this, you will get the flow. How many
Yeah,
of you
I
got
do
this?
understand the gist of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you what about others? Others are comfortable. I don't want to confuse you all. If slightest of the doubt is there, please let me know. So in Tableau Prep, what we do is we create a flow, a data pipeline with all the steps involved around it. Okay, and then we create a single source. the final curated data, right? Which is similar to the data pipeline which is created in data engineering, what your data engineers do in your company, in your respective companies, right? So they create the whole pipeline and then it automatically runs. Similarly, flow also, you can set it up at a different time and then it runs, and then that uh, and the database source is already connected, right? And the data source is already connected.
So Akash, clear my
Mhm.
doubt. So is there
Yeah, yeah.
something about ETL kind of thing? Like,
Correct,
um,
correct. It's a ETL tool itself. Tableau
yeah.
Prep is a ETL tool. It's a lot more capability, uh, than just a data cleaning tool.
So before we are going for the data visualization part of it, so we'll have a prep. So it will prepare our data.
Right. So how it goes is, let's say, how it goes is, where is Excalibur? See, if your Tableau desktop is sitting here, right, it cannot do anything out of it. It has to be fed with some data, correct? I hope you agree with this point, everybody. It has to be fed some data, right? Fed some data, right? Now, data can be good in good shape or in bad shape. If it is in bad shape, Tableau, and you fed the data itself, then Tableau desktop has very limited capabilities. Okay, so what what people do is they include a you know one more set of layer. Okay, one more set of layer which sends any kind of tool. I heard that question, Alteryx or these things. See, again the question is Tableau Prep. The answer is Tableau Prep is not widely used as of now. It's very new tool. It's around 4 years older tool. Alteryx is a old age tool, right? And I mean, very accepted tool in the market. So obviously, learning Alteryx will be far more better than Tableau Prep. But if you want to increase your value in a company which uses Tableau, you should learn all these three: Tableau Desktop, Tableau Prep, Tableau Public, Tableau Server. Tableau Server is highly important. That we'll touch upon. We'll touch upon that. There also we have admins. Admin role is there, which who has the control of server, right? That's a different set of job itself, a JD itself, right? So let's say you have an ETL tool, anything, Alteryx or Tableau Prep, right? Then data is cleaned here, and then as a single source, cleaned data is fed to whatever the visualization tool you have. Okay, come on. Okay, so this is the normal flow. Now, if even in ETL tool, there is a lot of processing that goes on, right? If I the way I showed it to you on Tableau Prep site website, right? So this is what it goes. This is the ETL side of it, correct? The raw data is coming, raw data, okay? Raw data, then fed to ETL tool, clean data is fed to Tableau Desktop. That is how we work. Now, Tableau Server, it comes now again, in after visualizing, let's say if you want to share it to, let's say Gaurav made uh, a dashboard in a company and he wants to share it with Kamla and Prashad, right? How will he do it? How will he do it? He can do it, very well do it by, there are two methods, you can say, by sharing through a mail, right? Just down, sharing the attached copy and sharing it in a mail, right? But can you tell me what is the challenge in this situation? if I'm sharing it to you or anybody through mail, what is the challenge?
You, if they don't have the desktop application, it cannot be opened.
Fundamentally, very well said. That this is a very valid question. Assume they have it, because since you three are working in a same company, they have it. What
Okay.
will be the challenge? So one second, I'll just, so here, right, who should learn scope and make market fit, we are discussing all these things, okay? So uh, do not think that we are not touching upon the agenda. I'm just making it clear that we are all touching it, like who should learn, scope. We all discuss this, we are all already discussing it now also. Market fit, right? And I'm also telling you about server and these things. So if you see, we have this uh, Tableau server, and these in our um, sessions we will have these things: Tableau desktop, Tableau online, Tableau prep, and different licenses, right? So we are discussing this also. So let's say tomorrow you people join, right? Then we can carry forward from here itself, right? So tell me, just this thing, guys. Let's keep it a dialogue, right? If you will be quiet, you will not, you will lose interest basically. So any answers on this? Like what was I saying? Okay, yeah. One second. Excalidraw. Okay. What is, let's say Kamla and Gaurav work to, and Prasad works together, and Prasad has some dashboard and he wants to share. There are two methods. One is this method wherein you attach a copy of the dashboard and share it through a mail, right? Correct. The second method I won't tell as of now, but can you tell me what is the problem here? What is the problem here?
Size of the visualization.
That is again a good pointer. So I like the thinking. You are going very far, first principle thinking. I like the thinking.
Not dynamically updated.
Correct. So I mean, everybody is correct, but this is the problem that you will face. Okay. So now, what she said is, let's say she has a dashboard and she has shared it with Gaurav and Prasad, right? Now, let's say tomorrow, after sharing, the size is also not a issue, file size. The sharing, the desktop version, they also have it. Both the things they have it. There is not at all any issue. Where the major challenge will come, let's say they have this, you both have this version V1, right? Now, her boss or her any client said that you need to make some changes, right? And now that version is updated to V2. Okay. Now tell me this. She shared V1. Now it is changed to V2. Do you guys have V1, or do you guys have V2 now?
We have V1.
V1, right? Now,
Yes.
now you will refer to this dashboard. You will not refer to this because you do not have this. It is not dynamically updated. That's what she said, right? So whatever we want, collaborative work, right? So let's say whatever Kamla is doing, it is she's publishing. Uh, Everybody should see that, right? So that she does not have to share everything on mail every day, after every changes, right? So because that's a lot of work for her also. Let's say there are 245 people and you are attaching everything, it will take some time to go again. Tomorrow she has to do that, right? So we would not take this approach. We will take a collaborative approach. And to solve this problem, Tableau came up with this solution of Tableau server, right? I have this diagram which was used in the last batch. 1 second. Yeah, right. This one. So we understood the data layer, right? Then we have a desktop layer. Now this is Tableau Online, a server. Now what she does is we have every company has a dedicated server to it where you can publish or push your data or dashboards. Okay, and the access for that server is given to all the power users or the consumers. By power users, a consumer, I mean the people who are going to utilize that dashboard, right? He or she can be CXO of any company or manager, senior manager, anybody who wants to look at that dashboard and should look at the dashboard and take decision on time, right? And bring out insights and do something meaningful for the company, for the organizations, right? So what she can do is she can publish it on server, and that server will have all the consumers will have access to those server, and they can see, in their personal desktop or online, they can see all those all the dashboards. And if in case, let's say, her immediate manager says make some changes, then what she will do, she will change in the desktop, she'll publish again, and all of them will see the latest version. So sharing is easier, managing is easier, right? And keeping people updated is also very easier in server now, right? So that is the underlying thinking of preparing a server. That product is how it supports. Okay, so is that clear? Did you guys get understand
Yes,
that?
Akash. Yes, got the point. But Akash, my requirement is to push a dashboard as statical. Like I don't want to show them the dashboard live. So in that case, also we'll use server, or how it will be.
No, so let me understand the situation. You do not want to, is that what you're saying, that you want to present to somebody?
Right. So I just want to share the dashboard, but it will not be not dynamic, like no live updates, like whatever we
Correct,
have
correct.
we discussed.
Yeah, right. So you can very well take that approach, right? You can either show it through Zoom, or you can just email that, like, this is the static dashboard as of now, and this is what I have been working with. There is not a problem, but the problem in sharing comes when you have a lot of people and you want to keep them in loop and updated, right? I hope you got the point. See,
Right. So when we
right?
are going for a collaborative approach, then we'll use this kind of.
Correct.
So if my data is clean and I'm okay, so I just wanted to show them as a read only, then I will publish as read only.
Right. So see, what happens is you don't publish everything, right, on Tableau desktop. What happens is when the project starts, right, you don't publish every now and then. What you do is, you how it works in real time is, you take the requirement from the client, you get the data, you start visualizing it as per the BRD which is provided by the client itself. Okay, I'm talking in a service based environment, right? You get everything in what colors, what color palettes, what fonts to use in Tableau, right? And you make a dashboard, and then in the review meetings, that is weekly, or the stand-ups that happens every day, stand-ups as in the team meetings basically, that happens every day, you show it to them. Okay, this is what I have. Is this as per the expectations? They say, okay, yeah, this is, but you have to make few changes. You change it, right? You change it, and then it goes to, then if when they say that, okay, now I think it is almost uh, you know somehow what ready, or 70% ready, then what you do is, yeah, you there is normally these three uh, stages, right? So when it is done, you push it into a stage environment. Stage environment basically means you have three environments. You can create n number of environments in Tableau server, but you create generally give a buckets of three, like stage, wherein you can make changes on the fly, you can push it, and that is not used for consumption. Consumption here means that is not used to uh, take decisions or prod live. That is very nascent, in very nascent stage. Okay, stage one. Now after the client confirms that yes, it is ready, it goes to UAT. So all the testing and these things, right, user acceptance testing, that happens, whether the results are coming right or not, right? uh, they will write some SQL queries and match with your dashboard. Let's say in from SQL, sales of California is coming around 200K, uh, and in Tableau it's coming 180K, then there is something wrong in the data, right? Then you have to mix and match and check that. Then it fails UAT. If everything passes, then it goes to prod. Then it goes to prod because your dashboard will be seen by n number of people, and which are very highly important people, because in terms of not in terms of the capability of the decisions, which has impact on the organization, right? Let's say if you say the data, let's say somebody missed something, and it says in healthcare itself, let's say there is a 90% occupancy or 60% occupancy in the operation theater, OT, right? But actually it is 90%. Okay, and what you will do, you will say that you will ask your doctors or nurses or your admin to increase the capacity, right? Capacity of the OT. But they know that the capacity is 90%, right? And if the company or the CXO is saying to increase it again, then that will give a very high burnout rate for the employees also, right? Because the number of operations that they have to perform will have to be very quick, and if something happens, then that is again on to the hospitals. So your dashboard is going to play a very very vital role in their decision making. So everything refined should be only be going to prod, and prod is the final, right? So that is how it works generally. Hello, is that uh, answer your question?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Any other question? Attached copy cannot filter the data. Cannot filter the data. No, I think, see, in again Tableau also, while sharing the data, right, you have n number of file types. I mean, n number means there are 6 7 file types. TWBX, TWB, then we have uh, TWA. I mean, uh, there are few others. So what happens is there are TDE is there, TDX is there. So there are file types in which you cannot do anything. There will be only data available. There are file types like TWBX. There will be only there will be in TWBX, it will have everything, data and visualization, everything. There you can filter also. There you can use the data also. There you can do n number of things. But let's say you have only TWB, that is uh, that will not have the data, that will have only single page visualization. So whatever you said is correct, but related to only few file types. Is that answer your question, Gaurav? Or I mean, is that make things clear? Okay.
I have a quick question. Like, see,
Mm-hmm.
we have Tableau Prep, we have Tableau Public, and also which one of these is free to public? Like, which one can I, download and have a hands-on experience? Any of that?
Yeah, I have it. So see, there are the products basically. Let me see if I have the diagram. I will have it. Let me see. If not, I'll explain it. Not a problem. But the diagram will make my life easier. Okay, here it is. So Tableau Public. Let's come to this, right? Tableau Public is a simplistic and the basic version with limited capabilities, which is available to all.
ए लाव लवकर ए लवकर लाव ते लाव
Sharad,
लवकर
okay, I'll make you mute. Okay. So hiding and Tableau prep Tableau this, right? So this is my profile. Okay, I've just made a new one. I'm not using the older one for the which was used by first batch. Now create a visualization. You can create here directly. Okay, it's free for everybody. You can sign in. You can uh, you can, it just take like simple email ID and this thing, and you can create it. You can practice here with limited capabilities. Like I'll tell you how. Create a wish. You see, now let's say I just want to uh, connect to data. I want to show you to, yeah. Now you see worksheet here, right? You see a new worksheet clear related to the caption. These things only, correct? But if you go to Tableau here and in worksheet, you see you have a number of other other options. Like copy, export was not there. Describe sheet, analysis. You have these many, but on this you have only this much. So with fewer options, you can create in Tableau public. You can publish it, and then you can publish it.
Yes, mama.
And Sarath, you are on cam. Okay, no problem. So, right, with limited access or limited capabilities, you can uh, connect to data. Um, you can publish it, and everybody will be using it. Okay, everybody will be using it.
So it's an online version of working on the data, not the
Correct.
desktop version.
Right. That's you can say label it as web app. Right.
Okay.
That's a web
Hmm.
app. So in Tableau Public, you can do that. You can publish it, and then everybody will be able to see it. Sorry, like these, right? Like if we go here, like these are all uh, open to anybody who can see and take some ideas in Tableau. Right now in Tableau desktop, you have a lot more other options. You have n number of options. Okay, with a wide, because since it comes at a cost, so it has to have a lot of functionality, right? Now server again has cost. So uh, Server is basically you can consider it as a company's drive, like a Google Drive, wherein you upload data, you upload your dashboards, and which is visible to only your company wide, okay, employees. So Tableau server, there also you can create, you can edit, but again that capability is very limited. Okay, I hope that answers your question.
Yes, thank you.
So, Akash, so a Tableau public is only for kind of a community where we can discuss among ourselves, like the people who are involved in the Tableau, so they can discuss openly what are the best practices and what are the new implementations coming into Tableau. So
Yeah,
we
it's
can't
it's it's
use.
a it's a it's a like community itself. Like you see, you have star and you have views. So if you publish it, and you will get to see that, okay, these are the favorites. They have marked it as a favorite, and your dashboard got these many views, right? So, and you can discuss, like you can come like this featured author. So you can blog, you can, I mean, what I meant to say is you can build your profile in Tableau Public, and you can show it, you can sell it to the company also while in an interview or something, with saying that you are a contributor, and that has a lot of you know what do you say, weightage,
It's kind of
because
portfolio. Portfolio we can
yeah,
show
yeah,
them.
you can make your portfolio, like you do it in Git, right? In Git repos, if you are a coder, if you're using any coding languages, then you use Git.
But
uh,
we can't
mhm.
use the other ones dashboards, right? For us, like it's kind of only view only, not editable.
No, you can how you can do is, you can just download these. Let's say I'm opening this Taylor Swift one. You see this button, you can download this, and after downloading you can open it in dash any desktop, your Tableau desktop, and you can use, you can change it, you can use this. Okay, the thing is, that's why it is public, right? So in public, if you, the data will not be very sensitive on this thing, so that you can hide, anybody can take your work and enhance it and suggest you. But it's not like cheating something, it's like enhancing. That there is a difference between those two. So and in Tableau Public, there is another one thing that you can do is, you can, like, you have in social media, right? Your profile is locked. I'm not very sure if this is the meaning, but you have this, right? Profile is locked and profile is open to public. In the same thing in Tableau, you can do the same. You don't want to show the visualization to public, you just keep it locked. Okay, and if you want to show it to the public, you keep it unlocked. That's how it functions. You have both way.
Yeah, great, Ankur.
Okay, yeah. So any other questions?
If you can cover up what are the roles available in current market for Tableau developer and what are the stages of careers, if you have to get into it.
Yeah, definitely. So I mean, roles and responsibility of a Tableau developer. See, so what, as a job seeker, let's say, if I say in a Tableau domain, right? So two things which are very important there, and I may add three, four things also, but two things which are very important is, first of all, is your data understanding skill, right? Your data understanding skill. Let's say uh, the use case is, understand, why sales is decreasing in country India for XYZ brand, right? So you start, taking the data, you understand it, and you're in a hurry. You just want to complete that work, right? And you take the data and you do something and just descriptive analysis, right? Descriptive. I hope you understand descriptive. If not, I'll make you understand. So in data analysis, right, we have few methods, right? You have descriptive, you have prescriptive, you have predictive. So descriptive is just what you see in the data. You just visualize it and you just give it, right? You don't say anything. It's you just say, okay, this is what sales is high in this, sales is lower in this, right? Why it is happening, right? Then that is another domain itself, like why it is happening and how you can improve. That comes under prescriptive, right? In descriptive you can do this also, like why it is happening. That's it. You don't prescribe, like doctor prescribes, gives a prescription, like this is what you have and this is what you should do, and for this to happen, to go away, to remedy you, you take this medicine. That is called prescriptive analysis, right? Descriptive is like you take the data, you are a doctor, you take the data, okay, this is what he has, you just tell him that this is what you should do. You just described in the situation and how worse or how good is that's it, right? You described it and this is what you should do, but you are not giving any medicine or something like that, right? In predictive you are predicting that this year the sales was down, next year also there will be some downturn, right? That is predictive. Now since you are, I mean, if it is clear, let's go to the actual question, right? What a Tableau developer should focus on, right? And what is the scope and the market fit, right? See, one thing that I always say is any visualization tool will help you in the market, right? So so if you know Power BI, it will be easy for you to learn Tableau. If you know Tableau, it will be easy to learn other tools also, because the mindset, the thinking, the data thinking, right, is already there. Okay. So now second thing comes is which one to learn. Take any, start with it. Ultimately, you will learn the basic and understanding the thinking, the back of it, and you will be able to learn by your own, like let's say Power BI, Looker, etc. Right? Once you have one hand holding in any of the tool, next tool you can take it by yourself, or with very minimal support you will be able to do it. Okay. Now what we should have as a Tableau developer, you should know Tableau desktop, I'm saying about. Then server also you have to be very thorough about it, because nowadays the more you know, the better it is, right? And obviously the SQL goes hand in hand. Without, nowadays what happens is, I hope you understand about data analyst, BI engineer, and data engineer, right? uh, there are distinctions. The data analyst, business analyst, and then you have data engineers, right? So you should have understand SQL. You should understand, if you're going into the path of data analyst, then you should have Tableau and any programming tool like Python or something, right? As a visualization engineer, you should understand um, SQL, Tableau server, right? Tableau prep, that is also very required, so that you have the whole bucket. You understand? You're fetching the data, you are preparing the ETL tool, and then you are using the desktop. So you're giving a whole stack to the company. Like you will be like, see boss, I know this also, this and this as well. So you will have more weightage than other uh, you know other participants, right? So and if you understand, if you have a little bit of Python knowledge of like Matplotlib, visualizing in Python, right? Only visualization in Python. Matplotlib using, you use pandas, a bit of pandas and these things, then you will be, it will be very easy for you to land a job. It will be very easy to land a job, right? So I hope that answer in a nutshell. We can go more deeper into this. We want to understand, but the main point is, the most important point is, just get started with something. Don't let yourself confuse like what should I do, and give your time, like you give too much of time thinking, uh, okay, this is what I should do, this is what I should do, shall I do this or not, shall I do that or not. See, anyway you have to learn the data skills, so get started with something.
Yes, Akash, I got you. So my current situation is, I worked almost 5 to 6 years into business operations, healthcare and
Mm-hmm.
multinational company. So after somehow I worked on it, and later I tried it, and I got a job in same kind of MNC. So
Mm-hmm.
where I'm part of IT now, like I'm part of product development. So now
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing configuration and testing part. So
Okay, okay.
from last to 1.5 year, I'm listening Tableau and visualization tools, and I'm also interested personally.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so now my question is, I want to upskill myself to
Mm-hmm.
get into data analysis. So which is related to BA kind of role. Like I don't want to get in deeply into data analyst kind of role, but as part of BA, how much Tableau or any other tool can be learned. So I may
Right,
confuse,
so
like if I have to start from the scratch or from the basic, I cannot survive in the career path.
right, see, I understand that you I mean, if I'm not wrong, you said that you are BA, right? Business analyst.
Yes,
Right. See, business analyst plays a very pivotal role, right? As you understand, but it's morely purely into business. Like, what are the requirements? What should be refined? What should be taken care? Who should build it? And deliver on time, right? I hope you get this point very
oh,
well. Now, there is another thing that's coming into picture is technical BA, tech BAs. So these are those BAs who understand the intricacies of technology, right? So what happens is, nowadays BAs also need to write SQL. They also need to understand Tableau. They also need to understand how the data is fetched from API, what
right.
APIs we are using, Swagger, Soup, Soup, Soup thing, REST APIs, whatever it is. You need to go hand in hand, because gone are those days wherein dev was doing only dev work, and the QA was doing only QA work, and BA was doing only BA work. Now everything is cross pollinated. This is
Yes.
a very fancy term in corporate, which they say is cross pollination. So
Now
BA,
I am also seeing in so many JDs they mentioned all the kind of skill sets. Like they're expecting Tableau or
yes,
Power
yes,
BI and
yes.
SQL, and along with the
Yes,
domain
sir.
knowledge.
You will see that. Yes, sir. You will see that. That's very very definitely you will see that, because the nature of work has evolved. Nobody wants to wait that, okay, the dev will come, then they will take care of it. No, you if you were there in the loop, you will have to understand it and you have to fix it. Let's say someday dev is, let's say 3 4 people are, as in your developer team, they are all on leave, let's say that, or only one person is available. You have to pitch in and you have to give support to that. Otherwise it will be, the production will lag, the company will lose dollar value or rupee value, whatever it is. Because let's say you are in a bank or in healthcare. Healthcare is a very sensitive topic altogether. Let's say if you say no, I'll not do, someone else will may die, because he may not get the bed on time, because the dashboard shows that there is no beds available. Correct, because there was a glitch. You're getting my point. uh,
Right.
so if you don't fix it, someone else is going to pay the price, right? Again, there is a repercussion to it. If somebody dies because of that, then they may follow a lawsuit. And then again, the company has to go all those things. So just a minor delay may cause a bullwhip effect, right? That's how we call it. So that's why you see, and you will see more in future. You will see more in future. So I remember one of my friend who is also a BA. He his teammates a dev. He asked them, "Are you comfortable in Java?" Okay, and he was like, "Come on, I'm a BA." Then that is the expectation from dev also. The BA should understand Java, the codes they write. Okay, the BA should provide requirement also. He should understand the code. He should be able to deploy also. Then many times you will find that BAs are sitting in deployment also, running the autosys jobs or the runway commands or the DBT, these things. They are also involved in that too. They are creating tables. They're creating stored procedures in SQL. They're creating dashboards. So they are involved in it. They are involved in it. So I'm not to overwhelm you, but the nature of situation that has evolved is like that. Everybody wants to save the cost. So if a BA which is hired only for making BRDs or requirement gathering, right, why not make use of others also, other thing also. That's how they think.
Right. So what is your advice, Akash? So being a non-technical guy, so if I have to get into technical way, so what are the prerequisites to get into the technical aspect, like this kind of data analysis, business analysis, like
So
there is
sir, based on my experience, right, what I would suggest is before before always it should go in parallel. Like the data mindset, I always say that the data mindset is important. So whatever you are doing, if you're I don't know very well that how you were doing, but start looking things in a data point of view. Okay, and then parallelly start learning any of the tools, SQL, Tableau, anything which will give you an edge over other BAs as of now, at least. Okay, I know most of the BAs, they don't have this knowledge. Trust me, I know this because uh, in and out I'm involved in those discussions also. Okay, so start with something. I'm not saying about join this and that. If it looks good to you, join anything, SQL, Tableau, anything. Okay, because these and most importantly SQL also. Okay, this is important because anyway, whether it is ONG, finance, or whatever it is, you will have to fetch data, and the only tool that is required to fetch data is SQL. Whether you connect through Python, through R, through Scala, through Java, whatever you do, you have to query in SQL, and then you have to visualize in any visualization tool, Tableau or Power BI. So learn that also, and then slowly you will understand that you have an edge. And trust me, 95% of the population is lazy. You have to be in that 5% itself. If you can give it all, you will sail it through easily. 95% of the population is waiting for they're uh, struggling in the mind itself. Okay, AI will come and it will take us job. That will definitely take if you do not upskill. And not to anybody, I'm just saying in general. If you do not upskill, it will take the whole chunk of job, because the 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 company that is building the product, they will say, okay, now the people are becoming lazy, I'm not finding good people, why not let's build some AI, and that will solve our problem. So that's how people function. So let's not give them a chance to think in this way, and which is not ideal way. I think company thinks also they need human touch,
right. Yeah, got
right?
it.
So they don't go in that loop of should I learn or not, should I do it or not. Start with something. Start with something, let it sail through, and eventually you will understand that okay, it happened and you did it. Right? So I hope, sir, it answered your question.
Yes, Akash.
Anybody? Yeah.
I have a quick question about the content of the course. I
Mhm.
just want to know if the Tableau administrative part of it and the geographic information systems is included in the course.
GIS we will see, but yes, Tableau or admin part, prep online, the desktop is included. GIS is very specific, but yes, we'll do those spatial things you're saying, right? We can do that, not an issue. We can do that.
Okay, thank you.
We have all, I mean, I can share it with you all these things. So this is a very not exhaustive. This is not exhaustive list, but it covers everything from right from RLS to uh, not from RLS, right from understanding live and extract and the different products to RLS and project management and dashboard, the filter actions, and these stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, Gaurav, I just now I said the same thing, right? I can share it this in group also. Okay, in the group that we have. Right? Any other question? Question? Anybody?
So how many months it would be, Akash?
It will be all roughly around 2.5 because it's a weekend class. uh, and it may extend also. It may not go below it because depends upon the kind of involvement you all have. Let's say you all are very keen and interested, because what happens is over the period of time people lose interest. But if you are consistent, then we will go across the boundary even more than what is written here. There are things that in parameters you can link your it may be overwhelming for you as of now, but just I'm saying you can use parameters. There are calculations and parameters in Tableau. You can use calculations in n number of ways, in very complex terms also, and parameters also, static and dynamic. You can connect parameters and calculations also. I'm just saying it. There is a very huge ocean of Tableau, and uh, the timing depends upon whether it is a just a monologue or a dialogue, right? So yeah, and we'll give a lot of hands-on. So you'll have to do all those hands-on, and then only it will be beneficial. Otherwise, it will be, but it will be just 50-60%.
So tomorrow, are you going to tell us how to install Tableau desktop and all? For the session part.
Yeah, I can show it to you, but my style is not the very conventional way. Like they show it in YouTube and all. They okay, how to install, and this is we will go in a very practical manner. See, I have the way I have seen. You will lose interest in a conventional way. Okay, this is CSV, this is that and that. We will take use cases, and then we will understand those intricacies of Tableau. Obviously, I'll tell you how to download Tableau. It's very simple. It will be in 2 minutes, and you will be able to. You will definitely you will do, and we'll take it to another level wherein we are not sticking to only conventional way. We'll take use cases and uh, you see this case studies, right? We'll take use cases and then we'll develop. That is the actual way, because in real life the plain vanilla flavor of Tableau will not work. I hope that answers.
Yes, Akash.
Yeah. Any other question? Anybody?
I'm good. Thank you.
I'm good, Akash.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, then I mean, I just gave you an overview today, and a lot of good questions that came up. That's very nice, and every other batch has a different set of questions, so that's very nice. So we'll start with this hands-on tomorrow itself. Okay, and for any more details, you can call on this number, and you can speak to Tanveer, right? And we'll join tomorrow. Is that all right? Do you want
Yes,
to
sir.
take any other questions from? I can take that up. Okay, I think there is no other question. So, just before coming to the class, yes, tomorrow, just go through the recording once. We'll start with a quiz, or not a quiz, because I haven't. I can frame a quiz, then a doubt session, and then we will start with the class. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. Tomorrow will be purely hands-on experience with use case, right? I mean, it could have been today also, but we didn't get time. Tomorrow, yes, it will be every day. It will be hands-on. So let me share my screen. How I do it, okay? How I do it is, if you see, this is 1 second, hiding problem. This is weekend batch, right? This is the first batch. So every day we'll make map, because Tableau you cannot do theory itself. What theory you will do? Today we explained so much because there were questions around that. You cannot expect Tableau to be a what is Tableau and answer the question. No, it has to be purely hands-on. You will make bar graphs, profit by sales. This is the use case that I'm talking about. Analyze sales and profit across all states, right? Uh, Group by groups, how you can create groups, scatter plot with trend, heat maps, when heat map is used, how heat map is used, how it is made, tree map, what is the intricacies of tree map. So this question is not um, this is not at all a question as of now. It will be a hands-on experience because it's a visualization tool. Okay, we with here what we'll do is we'll start with how to connect to data, how to connect to SQL Server. So I have prepared this as a tables. I'm preparing a table wherein I can connect to data to SQL directly. No Excel as of now. We'll go do take that route also. We'll Excel, because not all data I will have. Uh, I'll not have all the data in SQL table, right? So we'll take Excel file, and then we'll visualize also. We'll understand what live is, what extract is, how we can publish it to server. These all things are only on hands-on, purely hands-on. I cannot just tell you and go away. I can just say, look, you can publish it to server. How it is done? That's the basic question. That's why these diagrams and these things, right? You will have it. So rest assured, it will be purely uh, hands-on and purely use case. Use case may not be tomorrow or maybe tomorrow, right? Because if we are joining on time, because sharp 8 it will start, and then if I get that bandwidth, definitely after connection to data, after explaining live and extract, then I can show you how things work. It will be all live. It will Nothing will be like I told you, and you will go home, you will practice, and you will come again and you will ask doubt. I'll do it here. You you will do it tomorrow after in your free time, and then you will come back in the group and saying that this is what I got stuck in. Okay, that's how we'll function. It will not be a theoretical class. That's for sure. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Akash.
Okay. Okay, then. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you.